What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review. This is Kingdom Business Season 2, Episode 3. I forgot to get the name of it, child. It don't even matter because you know I'll be renaming them anyway. Um, so this episode, the storyline to me so far this season seems to be moving along pretty quickly. I'm kind of surprised at some of the things that happen in this particular episode, especially with Danita. She has like I don't know. I still don't know if her amnesia is real because it seems very selective. There's a lot of things that she can't remember. Like she can remember the dream that she told Dwayne, but she can't remember how to catch a note, how to sing. It's very strange to me how her amnesia is working, but I've never dealt with amnesia patients. I've never met a person that's ever had amnesia. Oh, that's not true. My cousin has amnesia. Would it technically be considered amnesia? My cousin has had a brain injury. And he has like his memory lapses. And over time, he has to be reminded of things that he said. He has to be reminded of things he's done. He had to be reminded of who he was. I didn't meet him until later in life. Like we just met a few years ago. And he was already suffering from this condition. So far, the things that I know about him or that we have discussed, he's remembered, but I know he struggles a lot with it, like just trying to regain his long-term memory, things that happened. I think he said he had to be reminded of who his wife was and all that stuff, but like now, since like at least since I've known him, he's known that he loves the shit out of that woman, crazy. Anywho, that's the only person I know with memory loss, but it was due to a brain injury in the military. That's what his memory loss came from. Okay, so here we go. Well, how did the episode start off? The episode started off with Bishop. He's sitting in his office looking at his computer, and all of a sudden he was sent this email, right? Opened up this email that basically told him he needed to watch his back. Matter of fact, not just watch his back, he needed to watch the back of CJ and Taj. So whoever this person was sending him pictures of CJ and Taj in different places throughout Atlanta. I didn't even realize this show happened in Atlanta, but it's in different places throughout Atlanta. And they're graying out the photos, putting X's over their faces, basically threatening their lives. Saying, if you don't keep your damn mouth shut about what's been going on down at the club, then we gonna put a hurt not only to you, but to the ones you care about the most, being your kids, Taj and CJ. This whole episode seems to be about children and finding their way, right? For the most part. So Bishop is like thoroughly concerned. Like, who the hell is this out here threatening my doggone kids, right? Next we see Rebel. The guy name is Xavier James. X. I was calling him James all last episode. They having sex, or at least he is. That's pretty much what I can say. At least he is. He all in it. He got the back rolling, baby. He all in it. Got the back rolling. He moaning. He talking shit to himself. And she laying there like, that's all I felt was Mr. climbing on top of me. Felt like he was peeing on me. That's what basically what she looked like. Like, I'm so disgusted. And he's so into the moment. He looking at her doggone face. But you like that, don't you? You like that, don't you? She like, you can't tell that she don't like that? You that into what you doing that you don't even pay attention to the person that you with? That's a problem, sir. They building us up to make it seem like Xavier James, this good guy, who wouldn't take advantage of Rebel and doing her right as far as her music is concerned, wants to be there for her, this and another, willing to be in a romantic relationship with her without compromising the business relationship. They wanted to build him up and then say, oh, he ain't good in bed. That's basically what it is. Why do they do that to people? Why the good guy always can't screw? That's how they do these TV shows on BET. They got a good guy whose sex game is like, he corny, so sex game corny. Or they have the one that's supposed to be the good guy with the attitude problem. And he just blowing her damn mind. That type of shit. Well, Xavier ain't blowing her mind. He ain't blowing her back out or nothing. But he was like, you like that, don't you, nasty bitch? Like, she laying there like a rock. she she laying there like a rock, just like ain't moving. And you like that, you nasty bitch, right? And she's like, what you call me? Did you just call me a bitch? She slapped the shit out of him and kicked him out. You got to go, bro. You ain't finna be disrespecting me up in here. I ain't your bitch. I ain't never been your bitch. I don't know what you being right now. His doormat. I don't know what it is that you're doing. He's sorry. I apologize. And she's like, you gotta go. You can't be disrespecting me. I'm not a bitch. Ain't gonna never be your bitch. Don't you ever call me a bitch. Don't even fix your lips to say the word bitch around me. Don't even call my dog a bitch and it's a female. Don't call me a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So Xavier is very apologetic. He's like, most girls like that shit. I don't like it. Then what you doing it for, dog? I don't get that. I don't get the grandstanding in the bed, and if this is not something that you naturally do, it comes off as inauthentic. And you clearly, if you faking the funk with her, talk about you don't even like doing it, you clearly oblivious to the fact that she didn't even like what y'all was doing, period. There was no passion there. Nothing there, sir. There was nothing there. And she was like, no, you gotta go. Bye. Deuces. She look at her phone buzzing. He gets an attitude. Like, okay, fine. You clearly got better things to do. Dude, she already kicked you out. What you still standing here for? And now you got the nerve to have be insulted at the fact that she got other things to do besides you. He left, right? She picks up the phone and she calls back whoever been calling her. And like, look here, I think going back into the club was a mistake. It's not going to be good for my career. Yada, yada, this, yada, yada, that. I wasn't sure who she was talking to. I didn't know if it was Caesar, if it was Taj. I didn't know who the hell she was talking to. I don't think they ever expressed it to us, right? But then we see her with her counselor friend from juvie. This lady been hanging around her all her life since juvenile. She's like, I guess a mentor, friend, or whatever. Something about this lady I don't like. I think her character is poorly placed. Same as with Kirk Franklin's character. They're trying to basically give these individual people spiritual advice, but their character just seems so Obi-Wan Kenobi-ish, and it don't seem genuine. She always pumping up her head like you the best thing since sliced bread, you perfect, all this stuff, And Reba like, I know, girl, I know. I ain't never heard Reba give this woman a compliment. What is the woman's name? I forgot, child. I don't forgot. Anywho, I think my camera's too high. Hold on for a second. I like that better. Okay, so she basically telling her that she thinks she gonna give James another chance. Cause Taj give her second chances. Every time she fuck up, he's still there for her. He's still supporting her. He's still lifting her up. So why can't she give Xavier a second chance? And the lady was like, she didn't want to tell her what she really thought. Because what she really thought was, girl, bye. Calling you out your name now, he's going to be calling out your name later. And she was like, well, I don't even want to how do I know not to give him a second chance? When do we stop? At what point do we not give a second chance to somebody? If you feel disrespected in the moment, you're going to give them a second chance to do it again. When do we say we one and done? And why do people try to make you feel bad about being one and done? Like, why we gotta always be the bigger day in person? You should be the bigger person and give them a second chance to give an opportunity to change and prove that they're not this person. You really, that particular situation, calling her a bitch, calling her name, I know it was doing sex and what have you, but I would have been the same way. It's done. You dry my pussy up, you call me a bitch while we having sex. But he should have thought about that shit before he did it. Maybe it should have been a conversation before it happened. You know what I'm saying? The type of things that we like to do, like I like to get nasty, I like to have dirty talk. I like to use profane pet names or what have you while we have in the mood. Like maybe that's something we should have had a conversation about. Give him a chance to correct it. Like, no, come correct the first time. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about that. Like, at what point do we say one and done is fine? No. Or being called out your name in the heat of the moment is something that's you can look past as long as he don't do it again. Okay. So she gonna give him a second chance pretty much. And really it's because of Taj. And it's not really because that Taj is encouraging her to give people second chances. It's because Taj is all in with Essence, because she's seen the video, she's seen the engagement video. It's been posted all over the internet, and she thought that was cute and this, that, and third. But you can still see that her and Taj has this chemistry, this bond with one another that just ain't going away. The way they look at each other, they lick their lips when they speaking to one another. They always close, and it's just too much. It's just too much. So she goes over to Redeemer Records to talk to Caesar. Caesar basically has a prison ministry that Rebel has to be involved in. Of course, she too good to two shoes to do that. I done been to prison. I ain't going back for nothing. And, you know, the counselor even told her, or the lady, her mentor even told her, I remember when you and your girl, Daddy, was in juvie and music was what brought y'all through. So why can't you be there for these people like this? So after a whole lot of tit for tat and back and forth, she finally succumbed to the idea of doing the prison ministry. Basically, they go in there and singing songs to the prisoners. When I was in jail, I don't remember that ever happening. Maybe I wasn't there at the time periods that they were doing it. Maybe our prisons were a little bit too rough for that to be accepted in there. We barely had a fucking library, child. So yeah, I don't know. But I never experienced that at the times that I was incarcerated. I've never experienced that, so I don't know what benefit the prisoners are really getting from it, you know. But, you know, there are some that are at least trying to keep the faith, that or trying to walk with God, some that are actually really trying to change their lives. And that type of ministry can really help. I know I got a friend that goes into the prison systems, and he teaches poetry. And he, like, the inmates that he deals with, he is like so lifted up by them and by the poems that they write. But other than that, I don't know anybody else that's working in the prison ministry or type of prison programs either. Other than that, other than my one friend. So I'm gonna go through the whole little prison ministry thing real quick. I can't think of the girl's name. The one that's kind of like, she's kind of like a mentor to Rebel as well. But she wants to learn how to produce and do all that stuff. So she's pretty much Caesar's intern. You know, so it's her, Taj. She's making Taj sing. Taj really didn't sing. I mean, he sung along with the rest of the choir, but I thought that he was going to have like a solo type of deal. They had the girl from Maverick City doing the singing. That child could sing, child. That child could sing. She could sing. They had her doing a little ministry, most of the leads, and everybody else was pretty much background. When Ty started though, baby, I thought he was about to preach. He was giving the word. They talking about CJ was giving the word. Taj was about to give a word right there. I think that it was well received by the inmates. We had a couple inmates that were still trying to be hard. You know, the black guy with the dreads, and there was another one over there that was just standing there. He probably job blessed up, you know what I'm saying? Those are the only two that didn't look really interested until the end. When they got to the end, they started singing "He Is Wonderful." That is my song. I don't know where I heard it from the first time, or where I was at when I heard it the first time. But soon as the notes started playing, I knew what song it was. He is wonderful. I knew what song it was as soon as it started playing. And y'all know I've been out of church for a long doggone time. Every once in a while, I may catch a gospel song on the radio, because you know Ricky Smiley play a gospel song in the morning, or Tom Joyner used to play a gospel song in the morning. That's the only time that I like hear gospel right now. But when that song, the first couple notes hit, I knew exactly what that song was. I think I'm gonna go through Taj a little quick briefly too, because Taj didn't have much to do about nothing in this particular episode other than the prison ministry, and then discussing about Essence. Essence has turned this wedding into a whole marketing scheme. She's gonna have the first single of her song dropped on the day before the wedding. She's gonna have an album release, the baby due date, all kind of stuff. Essence is really lining up this birth of the baby and the wedding with her musical career, so she can maximize her exposure, pretty much, so to say. Essence wasn't in this episode the entire time, other than word of mouth. The bishop. All of a sudden we see this it looked like an old man just walking down the street and down through this alley, going to this little sneaky link hotel. That's what it looked like. And all of a sudden somebody came up behind him with a baseball bat. Wow! Hit his ass hard, right? Hit his ass hard. Got him down on the ground. He folds like a little dog oppressor. And we look up and we see it's the police chief. And the bishop is swinging the bat. I was like, what the hell? Bishop done went gangsta on us, on the police chief. And he like, the chief like, dude, what you doing? You know that I can have you arrested? He said, you won't have me nothing because I know too much about you. You be down there at the club, popping bottles and throwing it up. You be down there. I know everything about you. You ain't finna say nothing about me. You ain't gonna lock me up at all because I got too much on you. So he told him, look, dog, I'm your friend. What's going on? Why you coming up here swinging the bat on me, yielding the bat on me? So he's like, why you threatening my damn kids? You threatening my son, you threatening my daughter. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay? He said, hey, I want some answers before I crack your motherfucking dome. And the chief was like, what are you talking about? I'm your friend. You know, I was there when CJ got married and walked down the aisle. I was there when we baptized Taj. I love them kids. Why would I do anything to harm them? He said, well, somebody's threatening them. And you seem to know what's going on with everybody in the whole doggone thing. You know before it even fucking happens. So you better drop me some names. You better tell me some names, right? So he finally mentioned the name of Jake Peterson, I think it was. Jake Peterson, probably the white guy that was in there. I don't remember. But Jake Peterson is the one who supposedly started the club, you know, with all these illicit affairs and all these prostitutes and strippers going through there. And, you know, people getting harmed and everything. And they sending out henchmen to harm these people. Also Dex, but you know Dex don't do nothing unless he told to do something because he like a little lackey or whatever. So he gave him those two names, and Bishop was like, all right, I'm finna roll up on them. I'm gonna roll up, but they finna see me. Don't come threatening my doggone kids. And if I find out you lying, I'm coming back again. And if I come back again, I'm cracking your motherfucking dome. Ain't gonna be no two thoughts about it. I'm hurting you real bad if you fucking lying to me. Because, you know, that's the only names he wanted to give him. And so Bishop gave out little warnings to CJ, gave out little warnings to Taj, oh, watch your back, you know. I put our family in a bad spotlight. And, you know, so there may be people coming after you or want to say something to you, disrespect you, harm you because of those actions. So y'all watch your back. He was trying to basically tell them in so many ways, somebody threatening y'all, child, you know. But he did it under the guise of, I'm out here street preaching and somebody fucked me up. Because remember, he got beat up at the club. That's where he got the black eye from. But he telling everybody that he was out there street preaching and somebody didn't like what he had to say. And he got socked in the eye. So that's what they all believe in, right? But yeah, that's what's going on with the bishop. So we go over to Danita. Danita comes up into the what am I looking for? I'm thirsty. What I do with my water? Hold on. All right. So Danita goes up to the label. And she goes up in there, and her mama in there done took over, child. She in there signing documents and rearranging people's schedules, eating people's lunches, all kinds of stuff. She doing all the stuff that she ain't supposed to do. And Danita confronts her about why she's there and she need to move out her way, get her office. You know, this is her place of business. Danita seems to have a lot of rage towards her mother for somebody who can't remember something. She said, I don't remember a lot of stuff. My memory is spotty, but one thing I do remember is you and how foul you are as a parent. That's basically what she tell her. So this whole time, her mom is questioning her about why the heck she still ain't singing. Danita still can't find her voice. And she don't understand why. So she go talk to this little vocal coach, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing. She's like, it's supposed to be me. That's what you're supposed to do, Danita. But she wasn't doing the me. She was, and the dude was like, I don't know what you're doing, child, but this ain't working. Okay. He said, your problem ain't physical. Your problem is mental. Either you, if it ain't mental, it's spiritual. So you either need to go to your psychiatrist or go to God. That's what one of the two things you're doing. But I can't help you. It ain't nothing that I can do for you. Okay. So Danita, who's she talking to? She goes and talks to Dwayne. And Dwayne tell her, look, you need to come forth about the truth. You need to speak the truth. She remembers what the truth is. Like I said, she remembered the dream about the little baby being stolen away. He tell her, she said, oh, well, she said that, from her interpretation, one of her kids is hurt. Her kids are hurting. She know Taj is trying to get into a marriage that he don't want to really be in. And then she knows CJ is dealing with her mental issues, but she don't know how to fix it. She'll not help him. And he told her, look, start with the truth. Start with the beginning of the truth. Okay. And so she looked like, that's not what you want me to say. That's not what you want me to do. And she's questioning why God saved her life, only to take away the one thing that means the most to her. And like he told her already in his prophecy, that if she didn't tell the truth, her life would be changed. It was going to be different. And the fact that she can't sing, la 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 la, is one of the things that has been taken from her, has been removed until she corrects her path. And that is starting with the truth, and the truth from the beginning, right? So we learn that Danita really did have a baby. Her mom and her daddy whisked her out of Atlanta. They drove her down to Stone Mountain, somewhere like that, for her to have this baby without anybody knowing. She was forced into giving up the baby for adoption. Her mama keeps talking about how much she was a teenager, but she was getting ready to marry Calvin. So I don't know what teenager was she at this particular time. She was in her 20s when she married Calvin. But okay. She said she was a teenager when she had this baby. You was getting ready to marry Calvin, but you was still hung up on that boy. She said on him. And she wasn't right to take the baby. But her mama told her that the baby died of SIDS 2 months after he was born, according to the adoption agency. Her mama lying her ass off. Her mama know that damn baby wasn't dead. And Danita's like really mad that she found out the baby is supposed to die, and her mama didn't tell her that she thought she had a child out there somewhere. Well, apparently you do, honey, because he showed up at the hospital and laid hands on you. Okay. That's going to all come back around, later on. I don't know how long into the season, but he going to come back around. I just don't like the fact that we ain't seen him lurking some doggone where at this particular time. He showed up at the damn hospital, you know what I'm saying? So, Danita learns also that the business is in much more financial dire straits than what she expected it. So, her mama done set up some TV show that she's supposed to appear on. In addition to, the lawyer told her that Caesar is got a pause on going forward with the injunction until she get her memory right. So her memory loss is kind of sort of a blessing at this particular time, because she don't want to move forward with that lawsuit. Now in this particular instance, she sound like Danita, like, I need you to make this go away. She didn't say make it right. She said make it go away. That's what Danita would have normally have said in the first place. But she also learned too that her if, in fact, she never gets her voice back, then her mama gonna get paid $30 million. Her mama took out an insurance policy on her voice, and she is pissed off about that. So it seems kind of, I don't know how she's gonna make that effective, make the insurance policy kick in, but she is really pressing for Danita to sing. Why you ain't recording? Why you ain't doing this? Why you ain't, follow our line around the office? You ain't doing nothing with your vocals that we've heard about. You got a whole tour set up. Now, CJ in there setting up a whole song list for her that I don't think she gonna be able to sing. But if she don't ever sing again, somehow her mama getting $30 million. Again, I don't know how this insurance policy becomes effective. But I told y'all before, Tina Turner, remember I told you she had $1 million policy on her legs, baby. If anything happened to them legs of her, it's $1 million policy that gets paid out, and I believe it gets paid out to her. But in this particular case, the Danita mama, it don't get paid to Danita. That 30 million, baby, 30 million. What type of policies are those? I've been trying to figure. Is that a whole life policy or something like that? What type of policy, that you could take out on individual things, inanimate things, somebody's voice, somebody's legs staying intact, that you could take out, and if something happens, you get paid that type of money. My people that deal with insurance, y'all let me know, is that a whole life policy? It's not a term life policy. $30 million. Every time I've had an insurance person come talk to me, they sit down and tell me, well, you can get a $10,000 policy paid out to you, and when you die, I heard the death policies, but these other type of insurance policies, do I need to get one taken out for YouTube? If YouTube cancel my channel for some odd reason, that I can get an insurance policy? Because you know I be losing my voice on her all the time. I be coming on camera like, hey, I can't talk, y'all. You know I be doing it. That sounded horrible. Can I take out an insurance policy on my own voice and get $30 million if for some reason I can't speak no more? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. So, but like I say, in that whole on the back end of that whole conversation with her mama about the baby and the baby supposedly dying, Danita decides to go ahead and tell Bishop, I had a baby. Because he gave this little story about when he first was told that CJ was on the way, how she put it in the sermon. She's like, well, I got to tell you something. CJ wasn't my first child. And she said it was just such ease. Like, you know, hey, I had another kid for her. And he wasn't shocked. He said, I know, your mama told me. And the only reason why mama would tell him is so he wouldn't be surprised that she wasn't a virgin on the wedding night. That's the only reason why she would say something. And she was like, well, you ain't never said nothing. He said, well, you didn't either. And she was like, you know, well, my mama told me that the baby died, but I think that's more lies. She ain't believing the lies her mama told her. She also told, or did she tell somebody else? I don't think she told CJ. But she went in and apologized to CJ about showing up at church on Sunday. And she wasn't trying to upstage her by walking in. She just wanted to support her first sermon. And CJ's like, wow, where did this come from? My mama don't apologize. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's how CJ took it. I didn't necessarily take it that way. With the exception that she did come with all them bright ass colors on. But it was her mama that made a big deal out of it. Oh, let's bring her up on stage. Come on up here and say something. You know, there was them that did that. So I don't know, child. I didn't take it that way. I mean, I did think she was showboating when she came in with all the bright colors. But that's all she would this whole doggone episode was bright red. That's it, the entire episode. She stood out from everybody on the rest of the cast because of how all the bright colors that she's been wearing. Anything else happened that I forgot to mention? CJ, Taj at the church with Rebel singing for the people. She, I guess she gave God the glory, so she's feeling good about herself. But we don't really deal with Rebel, and I kind of like the fact that we're not dealing with Rebel as much. But first it was like almost like a good balance between her and Danita, as far as how much they showed. They were like the two main characters, on different ends of the gospel spectrum. You know, a newbie coming in with this new younger state of mind and the way that they present the gospel music, and Danita being the old school version of it, still on the slick end, doing stuff that underhanded that we find in most churches. But lately they've been dealing more and more with Bishop's story and Taj's story, and I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? It gives it but it could be still like a 4-way type thing. Because we don't get much about CJ for real. Like, her husband is almost non-existent. I mean, we know Malcolm exists. But for the most part, he's almost non-existent. I would like more of CJ's story as well. But I guess we're going to get more of that once we bring in the new brother. Because I know when Caesar brought up the fact that he never had any kids, and he was congratulating Taj on the ultrasound picture that he'd been flashing around everybody. And I'm sitting here thinking, Caesar, you do got a kid. I used to think it was Taj, but now we know it's somebody that looked like Taj. That's your son. Taj still may be. Because that dude looked too much like Taj. They got a character that looked too much like Taj. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about Kingdom Business Season 3. Are y'all excited for the rest of the season? Drop it in the comment section. Hit like on the video so that way it can be up in the YouTube algorithms and other people can find this video and find this channel as well. I thank you. See you in the next video. Peace.